Mates, I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to your Monday math lesson. I do hope over the weekend you were able to relax a little bit, take some time for yourselves, and just do something fun, whether it be doing a hobby or FaceTiming a friend or something like that, just because it is really important right now that you are taking the time to do some self-care, to take care of yourselves, especially when there's still so much unknown, when they keep on making announcements about school closures going on longer and things being canceled. I do want to make sure that you guys are all doing all right and you're taking care of yourselves first and foremost. On that note, we are going to start with our Monday math lesson. This one should be pretty easy. So we talked about on Friday algebraic expressions where you're trying to balance the equation and trying to figure out what the unknown variable is, what the unknown letter is. What we are doing today is it is giving you an equation and it is telling you, like, let's say it could be 3 plus b and b equals 4. So all you're doing is 3 plus 4, and then you have to find out what the answer is. So we are going to do a few practice problems. The ones for today are going to be pretty simple. It is going to be mostly whole numbers, but we're also going to throw in a couple of, I'm going to throw in a couple of decimals and things like that, and maybe a couple integers. So it's going to be really simple for today, and then Wednesday we're going to go into substituting things like fractions, decimals, and integers a little bit more intense. But for today, we're just going to do a few practice problems. So our first one is evaluate the expression 4 bracket a plus 7 bracket over 4, where a equals 3. So let me write out this problem is 4a. Okay, so 4 a plus 7 over 4, and a equals 3. So the first step to solving this problem is to substitute your number into the problem. So I know a equals 3, so I'm substituting 3 in there, plus 7 over 4. So all I have to do is substitute my number. So now I just solve my problem step by step. So I do my brackets first. And so I have 4 bracket 10 over 4. And I know you guys saw in the last problems that when you have a problem that looks like this, it means to divide. However, in order to be able to divide this problem properly, I have to completely finish solving my top section. And if there's numbers that I have to solve down here, I have to do the bottom section. And then my last step would be to divide. So even if there was addition and subtraction before that, you can't do, for example, 4 bracket 3 plus 7. I can't do 4 divided by 4 and then leave my 3 plus 7 to the side, because there would be nowhere to leave it to the side too. It wouldn't work if I just did it, if I just added it onto my final answer and multiplied it onto my final answer. You have to do your full top section, your full bottom section if there's anything down there, and then your last step would be to divide. So now I'm left with, to go back to this problem, is 4 bracket 10. So 4 times 10 equals 40 over 4. There's no other problems left to do on the top or bottom of this division. So now I just divide it as normal. So 40 divided by 4 equals 10. And that would be my final answer to the problem. The way you can check to see if you are correct is how we learned about balancing equations. I could just do equals 10 and follow this problem and balance the equation out. And if 10 equals 10 by the end of it, so after I've balanced out this entire problem where I work backwards and try to figure out what a equals, and I know 10 equals 10, I know I'm right. Other way is just doing the question over again and making sure you get the same answer twice in a row. So those are some of the ways you can do it. So that was a pretty simple one to start us off. I'm going to do one that has our next one is going to have 2 variables that we plug in. And that one has rules that are a little bit odd, especially if you're looking at the rules of BEDMAS. But I will show you how it works in a second here. All right, so the next problem we have is evaluate the expression for a bracket b to the power of 2 minus c to the power of 2. So we have 3 b to the power of 2 minus c to the power of 2, brackets, b is equal to, tells us what it's equal to, b is equal to 4 and c equals 2. So my first step is to plug in my numbers. So I have 3, b is equal to 4, so I have 4 to the power of 2 minus c, which is 2, so 2 to the power of 2. Normally, the first step in order of operations is to do the brackets. However, in this case, we have exponents. And if I have an exponent number minus another exponent number, I technically can't minus them from one another when I know what the numbers for these exponents are. And that's because if I did 4 to the power of 2 minus 2 to the power of 2, it would actually be 2 to the power of 2 as my final answer because I can't get rid of that exponent. But 2 to the power of 2 is not the same answer as 4 squared minus c is minus 2 squared. And I'll show you what I mean. So I have to do my exponents first. So I have 3, 4 to the power of 2 is 16, minus 2 to the power of 2 is 4. If I did 4 squared minus 2 squared, that would equal 2 squared. 2 squared is equal to 4. 4 is not going to be the same answer as 16 minus 4. So it completely would skew our answer if we did it that way. And that's because 4 times 4 is not the same as 2 times 2. So in this case, I would just do the exponents first and then do the brackets. So now I have 3, 16 minus 4, so I have 3, 16 minus 4 is 12. So now I do 3 times 12, which equals 36 is my final answer. So that's evaluating the expressions there. We're going to do another practice problem. I'm going to try to have one that has a decimal in there. And then that will be it. You will be on your way. So this one here is going to be pretty simple for today. It's just going to be one sheet where all the numbers are given to you and you basically just plug in all the numbers and answer the problems. So I'm just going to quickly see. I think there was one that had a decimal here. If not, I will just quickly write one out for us. Okay. Nope, don't see one. So I'm going to just write one out where, let's say we use the letter K. K is equal to 3.39. And we have a problem like K 6 over 3. So first things first, I need to do my brackets. Or first things first, I need to plug in my numbers. So I have 4, 3.39. If it's this, that means it's times, so times 6 over 3. We will have a decimal as our answer. So I have to do 3.39 first things first times 6. So 3.39 times 6 equals 20.34. So now I have 4 and 20.34 over 3. So 4 times 20.34, I'm actually just going to erase this and move it on over here. This is the problem with the pen tablet, I have to write giant all the time. So 4 times 20.34 is equal to 81.36. 81.36 over 3 divided by 3. So that equals 27.12. And that would be my final answer. So it's the same process, but all you're doing is just using a decimal number instead of a whole number. So there's a few questions, I believe, on the worksheet that have that. On Wednesday, we're going to go into using fractions, integers, and decimals into more detail, and there'll probably be problems that are a little bit more complex, but nothing too crazy. So that's it for today. I will see you guys Wednesday. I do hope you're all doing really well. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. As you've seen, I'm usually available by email. The only times I'm usually not answering is if I'm having dinner or something and I'm trying to kind of get away from my phone for that half hour, 45 minutes while I'm eating. But otherwise, you'll notice that I'm pretty quick to respond, or as quick as I can be, and I'm always around to answer your questions. So thank you guys. I hope you're doing well. Remember to do some self-care, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.